Chapter 6. A discussion of Gaunilon's argument in his second chapter, that any unreal beings can be understood in the same way and would to that extent exist. Another of your objections is that any unreal beings, or beings whose existence is uncertain, can be understood and be in the understanding in the same way with that being which I discussed. I am surprised that you should have conceived this objection, for I was attempting to prove what was still uncertain, and contented myself at first with showing that this being is understood in any way, and is in the understanding. It was my intention to consider on these grounds whether this being is in understanding alone, like an unreal object, and whether it also exists in fact as a real being. For if unreal objects, or objects whose existence is uncertain, in this way are understood and are in the understanding, because they are spoken of, the hearer understands what the speaker means. There is no cause, there is no reason, why that being of which I spoke should not be understood and be in the understanding. How, moreover, can these two statements of yours be reconciled? First, the assertion that if a man should speak of any unreal objects, whatever they might be, you will understand. And second, the assertion that on hearing of that being which does exist, and not in that way in which even unreal objects are held in concept, you would not say that you conceive of you conceive of it or have it in concept, since as you say you cannot conceive of it in in any other way than by understanding it, that is, by comprehending in your knowledge its real existence. How, I ask, can these two things be reconciled, that unreal objects are understood, and that understanding an object is comprehending in knowledge its real existence? The contradiction does not concern me. Do you see to it? If unreal objects are also in some sort understood, and your definition is applicable not to every understanding, but to a certain sort of understanding, I ought not to be blamed for saying that a being than which a greater cannot be conceived is understood and is in the understanding, even before I reach the certain conclusion that this being exists in reality.